morning, Connection Point Church family, and whoever else is joining us online. So today begins what we call Holy Week. It's the week from Palm Sunday to Easter Sunday. And normally the church is filled with all kinds of activity and all kinds of gatherings, but we're in a unique time. In this time, we're not gathering. And maybe you're like me, it makes you feel a little unrest, a little unease, because I grew up in a family and I grew up in a home where we were always at church, especially Holy Week. I remember going to Good Friday services with my grandmother, who's 97 now, and she actually is watching these, I think, most days. But here's the thing for us. We have this season of time in which we're in which life is uncertain. What we thought was going to happen isn't what's happening. And I can't help but think about the disciples after the resurrection of Jesus. And especially when they don't know yet he's resurrected. This guy they followed, this guy that went into town during this triumphal entry that we celebrate on Palm Sunday. They were there. They had an expectation of what Jesus was going to do. Jesus was going to be like all the other great conquerors that had ever come. Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar, you name it, that was going to be him. He was going to raise up this nation, and they were going to be the dominant force in the world. And he rode into town, and he didn't do exactly what they thought they would do. In fact, he was killed. I mean, everything they expected changed, so the disciples are scared. They don't know what's going on in the world around them. They had an expectation, and it is not coming to fruition. So the disciples, they hide. They lock themselves in a room, scared of the people outside. I don't know about you, but as I think about this story, I think about some of our people in here and now and what's going on in the world around us. Some of us feel scared and like we're stuck inside. And I can't help but think of Jesus' words after the resurrection when he comes to his disciples. I can't help but think his words to them may be good words to us. And here's the scene. It's from John chapter 20, verses 19 to 21. And here's what happens. It says, when it was evening on that day, the first day of the week, and the doors of the house where the disciples had met were locked for fear of the Jews, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." After he said this, he showed them his hands and his side. Then the disciples rejoiced when they saw the Lord. Jesus said to them again, "Peace be with you. As the Father has sent me, so I send you." They're afraid. They're hiding. Stuck inside. They're uncertain about what may come in the next moment. And Jesus shows up. And he says just a few simple words. He says, "Peace be with you." Or the word he would use would have been shalom. And shalom is not just this idea of the absence of conflict, the kind of peace. It's the kind of peace that is the absence of conflict, but it is greater than that. It is the fullness of knowing a peace in heart, mind, body, and soul. It is the fullness of knowing the presence of God. It is a peace that surpasses all understanding. And I can't help but think for you and I in these days, as we begin this day, this beginning of this Holy Week, may you and I, may we ask God, may we receive his peace. Maybe he walks into our rooms with our doors shut when we're maybe afraid of what's on the outside. May he come and say into you and I, into our homes and our hearts and our lives, "Peace be with you." And once we have received his peace, once we know that we know that we know that we have it, may we be a people who give it, especially in this time of uncertainty. Because I can't help but think that now are the moments when the church's voice should be crying out loud on social media, on telephone calls, and it should be the voice that continually says, "Peace be with you," because we serve the Prince of Peace. May we give the peace that surpasses all understanding because we have come to know the one who is present with us. And so this day, take just a few extra moments, this first day of the week, this beginning of what's going on in your work week. And may you find yourself saying, "Peace be with me," because I know the one that conquered even death itself. And so this beginning of Holy Week, may you find yourself drawn to the one who offers his peace. May this day be filled with his love and hope and joy. And may we become more and more a people of peace.